All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Sci-Fi Guys. My name is Carlos.
I'm Sonny.
And I'm Alvin.
And we are the Sci-Fi Guys. How's everybody doing?
Doing well.
Doing well.
Awesome. Awesome. Guess what, fellas? Good news. Good news. We got our first comment.
All right.
Somebody's watching us. Yay.
Alvin's excited. Sonny's excited. So, I know I told you a little bit about it a moment ago, but the first comment is about us from, I think it's Nemus Bea. I'm going to put it on the screen so everybody can see it and everything. And the comment is, this was 3 days ago, and they were commenting on the clip 1 from episode 3. They were commenting about the Dr. Umar segment. So, and their comment is, "You are out of your mind."
All righty then.
Okay. All right.
Well, we're a little bit psycho, I reckon.
Right
I mean, honestly, that's never been up for debate. I think we all know that we're. I don't. Thank you.
Yeah,
for that.
Thank you, I reckon.
So, I mean, I didn't know how to receive that. So, I commented for all of us. For those who don't know, I control the YouTube channel and everything. Trust me, it's going to change in the future. I'm just trying to, lay some groundwork to get things organized. And once I'm going to relinquish it to the fellas so they can go in and check everything. So I'm not trying to be a control freak. Trust me, I don't want all this responsibility. I want to spread the love. So what I responded to Namas Bea, again, if I'm messing it up, I apologize. I'm not trying to disrespect anybody. I do respect all the comments, positive and negative, but I just don't know how to pronounce your name. I said, "We do not know if that is good or it's bad, but thanks for being the first comment." There you go. So,
yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Or ma'am, whichever you are.
Or them or they or whatever.
Yeah. Y'all.
Y'all. Ewans. Whatever. I don't know. So they felt, because I said, I don't know if that's good or bad, they failed to elaborate more on why we were out of our mind. And pretty much what they said is, don't get me wrong, but to believe the agency and the military have no influence on Hollywood is crazy. Just Operation Paperclip, the participants of this project later found the CIA and FBI, or research Operation Mockingbird, which have been influencing for 50 years on what can be filmed and how, or search which black leaders have been murdered since 1961. You can pretty much get the tempo.
Yeah, he's deep state.
So, first of all, I'm not going to do any of that research. I'm not. Simply because this is my comment, because they said more after that, because it was more of the same stuff and everything. And I said, Namas Bey, okay, we never said that that there wasn't any influence of any kind. What we are saying is that we don't care, and we do not care.
We do not care.
We don't care.
Not one bit.
And I know that's triggered.
What time that comment was made? Was that like a late night 2 a.m. comment?
And I know that's probably triggering to all you conspiracy theorists and all that. Like, how can you not care? They're trying to take us. We don't care.
We don't care.
We just want to see. Care. We just want to see the Hulk smash. We just want to see Captain America throw a shield. We want to see Superman's laser eyes. Isn't what Jack Black said?
Laser eyes, right? Jack Black.
That's all we want. Okay. Now, if you want to break out your decoder ring and figure out what the government is trying to do, you do that. That's fine. What we are saying is, okay, that's fine that that's happening. We don't care that those messages are in there. To be honest, if you want my personal opinion, and again, this is not the political guys. This is the sci-fi guys. I believe what you're saying. I believe the government does influence all that. I truly do. I just don't care. Again, I know that's triggering. I know that's
Yes,
triggering.
I believe they're hiding stuff. I believe in UFOs. I believe
in Bigfoot. I believe in Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah, and all that. But I don't. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care.
No, but this is the thing. But this is the thing that I want our people to stop doing. Okay. And I understand you told me to go and research a bunch of stuff, and I'm not going to do it. But if you're going to present a point, present the proof. It's just like, when you hear people say, you better watch out for them because they like, okay, name the they. Put a name to they. Stop. Let's not talking about boogeyman and all this other stuff in the shadows in the closet and the shadows behind in the monster under the bed. Put a name to they. And let's talk about they. If it's the CIA, fine, whatever. But let's put proof. Excuse me. Let's put proof to that. Show me emails. Show me something. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to sit around and talk about conspiracies all day long.
Wasn't that Roddy Piper? They.
Yeah, they. Yeah. So and that thing, that thing it kills me. They don't want you to win. Who the hell is they?
Oh, you know who they is.
I don't know who they is. I don't know who they is. I don't know who they are.
I'm just going to answer that with, I'm convinced.
Okay, right. Okay, fine.
I'm convinced.
Because
Can we move on?
I'm convinced. Only thing that does is just builds a fear, and you don't put a name to it. You see what I'm saying? That's all that does. So, again, Namas, I appreciate your comment. I really do. I'm not trying to make fun of you or anything. I'm sincere about it. But this is not what we're here for. I just want to see the superheroes be superheroes and beat up the villains. That's all I want. I
want to see the villains win sometime.
Well, Kang is going to kick everybody's ass, so we're good.
Okay.
So calm down, Alvin. You got it. So again, Namas, I honestly, we really sincerely appreciate. I'm not speaking for all of us. We really sincerely, because we want all the comments, because your views and everything really means a lot to us, and your comments do as well. So we don't want to insult anybody, and I really do appreciate you taking the time to comment. But in the future, just let us know what we can do to help the sci-fi part of this, not the conspiracy part of it. Because
what do you want us to talk about sci-fi wise?
Exactly.
Because hit that subscribe button.
Because you
all that
you showed up for a reason, and our product is in our name, the Sci-Fi Guy. So you showed up for a reason. So if we can elaborate more on that, then it'd be more helpful to us. So thanks again, and I appreciate it. And we welcome everybody to comment, and please subscribe. I need to say that more, but it's been we're still very new to this. So I'm getting my groove. So please like and subscribe and leave comments. Let us know what you want us to talk about. Let us know anything sci-fi related that we're not talking about that we need to talk about. Pick up if there's a certain topic that that you have an opinion on. Please leave your opinion, and
hit that notification bell.
And hit that notification bell, please. All right. So now that the one comment that we get is happening. That's the one comment. It's technically two, because they replied to mine.
They replied, right.
So it's one person and two comments. So thank you. So let's get started. All right. So I brought this up earlier. There's rumors that Keanu Reeves wants to be in Marvel. Now, before we get into this, we know that Keanu Reeves plays Constantine in the DC universe, and everybody loves Constantine. And when I say everybody, I'm talking about everybody here. I can't speak with everybody in the world. I'm talking about everybody. I'm talking about the spectacular sci-fi guys. We all love the Constantine. We love the occult aspect of it, which is one of the reasons I think that Marvel is going that way. You know what I'm saying? And because they're digging more on their occult side of it, because because I think it's because of this, because of Constantine and so much more, because it's the success of it. So, but I think he not only does he wants to be in the DC world, he wants to be in the Marvel multiverse now as well. So I'm trying to think what would be a good superhero for Keanu Reeves.
No, I think, and of course this is, even though Marvel didn't totally have the rights to this, but I think he would have been a good Morbius.
Morbius?
I don't think so. I mean, Keanu Reeves he's a big actor. He's gonna have to play a big role. He needs to be Dr. Doom or somebody,
Dr. Doom. I think that would be pretty good.
You're not killing Dr. Doom and he gonna come back.
Yeah. I think that would actually be pretty good. Dr. Doom.
Or, if they move to the Beyonder, maybe he could be a Beyonder.
Would he be a good Sentry?
I don't know if he's a.
The Sentry's he's a torn soul.
Yeah, he's torn. I'm sure Keanu can play I'm assuming mentally unstable.
Yeah. But I think that's probably a good Sentry. Who else? I mean, who do we have?
Superhero wise,
because what I'm saying, and this comes from it's an article from the direct.com, and if you want to go there and search for it, I'll put the link for it in
and this is not really anything new. He's been saying that for a minute.
Yeah. I know there's something that he's been wanting for a while, but it's just like, we have to kind of wrap our head around it. Like, what would he be good at? What is there something,
right?
And I mean, that's the biggest thing. What role would he be? Will he be a good, X-Man? Is there a good X-Man character?
Yeah, I mean, it could be. Yeah, he could be a good X-Men character.
I'm not seeing an X-Men character though.
Because what they're saying here, he's and I don't know how true this is. It could be a hoax, but he's aiming for Wolverine.
No.
I don't see that.
No.
Because
whomever's gonna play Wolverine, and I know that I think they're using Hugh Jackman, but I think they need to go younger with these characters because they want to get more than 1 or 2 movies out of them. Yeah. Once the mutants hit, they're going to be the next wave. They might be phase 5.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, another thing that they're talking about that he can possibly play is Johnny Blaze's Ghost Rider. I think that's pretty good. I honestly think that's pretty good.
Yeah, I could see because there's Johnny Blaze. Johnny Blaze was one of the first Ghost Riders, and I because they could still come back and use some of the other younger Ghost Riders in the movies.
The Hispanic guy, what's his Ghost Rider? Because
you had Rob. They're thinking about using Robbie Reyes,
right.
Who and then oh my God, I didn't read a whole lot of Ghost Rider, but I know that there's another prominent. They said is really a powerful Ghost Rider. There's an Indian Ghost Rider now that made an appearance in Doctor Strange. a female Indian Ghost Rider.
Good.
Oh, I need to pick that up.
I can tell you what. Let's see. It was bear with me. It was Doctor Strange and the Sorcerer's Supreme.
Okay.
And it's issue. My eyes are not working. Issue number 3, and she's on the cover of the A cover.
Mm-hmm.
Her name is Demon Rider.
Okay.
Kushala. She's a Ghost Rider.
Okay, I need to check that one out.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we named heroes, but we also got to look. Some of the people we have 3 stars that they played good guys in one universe, in one comic book, like Josh Brolin. Well, actually, Josh Brolin he played Cable and he played Thanos in Marvel, so he played 2
and 2 characters in the same universe, right?
But then we got Christian Bale, who played a good guy in DC and a bad guy in Marvel. So Christian Bale played Batman, and then he played Gore.
Then again, we keep saying Marvel. They had made a Marvel MCU appearance. These were technically just Marvel movies. These
Marvel
Fox.
Okay, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? They're not in.
I'm just gonna say Marvel because
you're saying they're gonna reboot them when they bring them back anyway, so they're not gonna be
possibly
wipe away all the other X-Men movies, which I kind of feel bad about. I mean, some of them
were bad though. Some of the Marvel movies, I mean, X-Men movies were like that Age of, what is it, Apocalypse?
Yeah, that
was kind of bad, but they weren't Fantastic Four bad.
You're gonna stay off my Fantastic Four, man. I don't know. You done brought that up in every episode.
I think you crossed the line with that. You're the sore spot.
You crossing the line, man.
I think you kind of.
We talking about the first family.
You got to admit the Fantastic Four was not great movies. You got to admit that.
It was that.
It was good for the
like
time.
I'm talking about the Fantastic Four personally. This incarnation of a Fantastic Four. It
good for its time means it was bad.
Not necessarily. Conan was good for his time. It's bad,
It's bad, right?
Conan is still good.
What?
I like Conan is still good. I like both the new one and the old one. Even the new one that didn't get much play, but more. I thought it was a pretty good movie. But then again, I'm a Conan fan. So how many Conan fans do you have?
Well, I wasn't a fan of Conan the comic books. The movies, I love the movies. Yeah, I did love the movies. I do. And then I like that in Beast. You remember Beastmaster? He had the 2 phones.
Oh yeah.
I remember that. I was a fan of that too. I don't know why I like those movies, but for those, I know we're showing our age. Those are old movies, but anyway. But anyway, those Conan movies. Those are old. Conan's old Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. That's when Arnold was young and he was ripped and he was huge. And
It was pre-Terminator.
I don't know why I'm describing a grown man that way, but he was. So I'm just saying. So
yeah, we're just saying.
I'm just saying. But also we have Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton played Batman, and then he played the Vulture in Marvel. So
right, yeah,
you got some room. So like I said, Christian. So
wait a minute. You got Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool and Green Lantern.
Deadpool and Green Lantern.
Deadpool, Green Lantern.
But I think if you notice, he's the first one to play two heroes.
Yeah.
Because Christian Bale and Michael Keaton both played Batman, and then in the Marvel universe they played villains.
Although many will want to forget that Green Lantern movie, which I also still
there again. I enjoyed the Green Lantern movie.
It wasn't Fantastic Four bad.
I enjoyed the Green Lantern movie. Y'all gonna
Alvin, you gotta stop.
I enjoy these movies. Now, I take it for what it is. They not Oscar winning.
I bet Alvin he liked that first Fantastic Four movie that you can see on YouTube.
Yeah, I think the Hulk was. I think that they did the thing well in that movie. Now, I think the Thing costume was done well in that iteration.
What they did just so they could keep the rights to what they said.
Yeah, I think the Thing was done well.
You like the Michael B. Jordan Fantastic Four too, then? Huh?
No, that was horrible. That was pure hot trash.
All right, man. I don't know what the line draws with you. You're confusing me.
Because that way, obviously there, because not only was it trash, it was pure hot trash.
Hot trash.
For the simple fact that the Silver Surfer, they did not introduce the Silver Surfer correctly in that Fantastic Four movie.
No, they didn't. But
So so they introduced him correctly, and then they made, like I said, Galactus look like a little puff of smoke. So
now that part was done badly, but the power sets and the that type of stuff was done well. I think maybe they, with the second movie, they jumped to a too big of a villain. They should have stuck with the Mole Man or something.
Okay, and honestly, so you saying that you like the way they did Dr. Doom?
Better than what they did with Galactus.
Okay,
it was all bad. So it doesn't matter.
So
if it's
Galactus
good bad or bad. It's
Galactus was horrible, and Dr. Doom was terrible. So,
but it's all bad.
It's all bad. So how can you say you like these movies and they did not do the villains properly?
I like the heroes. I mean, what can I say?
The villains make the hero, Alvin. The villains make the hero.
At the time, we didn't have anything else, and I enjoyed it.
Oh my!
I just put it that way.
Oh my God! You just stuck in a time capsule.
I am. I'm still a Big Daddy Kane fan, and De La Soul, and all of that.
That's music.
Hey, look,
that was great music.
Even my taste has changed. I sort of dig MC Shan now.
I still don't dig MC Shan that much. I'm sorry.
Go back and listen to him now.
I have.
Listen to him now.
MC Shan. Yeah.
I have. And honestly, and I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'm about to be totally blasphemous right now with hip hop. There's a whole lot of rappers, and I'm not gonna say no name because I'm not gonna disrespect anybody. There's a lot of rappers that I loved back then, but when I go back and hear their music, I think, damn, that's horrible. Why did I like that?
Nah, I ain't ran across.
I know exactly.
I ain't ran across that yet.
Why is that?
I'll be stuck in the time bubble.
Okay, you do that. We're gonna leave you there because I don't, because I'm still understand how these movies are so good when they did the villain so horrible. That's an oxymoron.
Hey,
what was it? Iron Man 3 that did the villain so badly that
Oh, that movie sucked.
It was just terrible.
I'm gonna go back in time, cause now.
Cause is not a reason. It's not even.
Yeah, it is.
It's not even a good
argument. just because.
It's just as juvenile as we were when we said it.
I bet Aaron probably like that old Captain America.
Oh yeah, the one where he just
showed the one he was driving the van and had football helmet on.
Don't look, y'all don't act like y'all didn't enjoy that when it came out.
When I was a kid and didn't know better,
we were
yes.
kids.
Didn't know better, yes. I grew up.
We were kids. I enjoyed Linda, whatever her name was,
Linda Carter, Wonder Woman.
Linda Carter that spun around and turned into Wonder Woman.
That was better than that. That was better than
that was better than saying Captain America driving around in the van with a football helmet on.
Hey, that's what they gave me. That's what I liked.
I think in one episode, the Captain America, he shook somebody's hand so hard he knocked them out. I'm like, how do you do that? Like, come on, Alvin. When I was a kid, that was awesome. It's just like when we watched the Bionic Man and the $6 Million Man, the Bionic Woman, and we thought,
look, he's running so fast, he's running slow.
We thought, oh my God, that's awesome. Then you look at it now, I'm like, they just put a sound effect and they slowed it down.
Slowed it down.
And I'm like, how did that? All right, man.
Steel, yeah.
They were horrible. They were awesome because it fed our creative minds when it comes to comic books and everything. It was great for that. You know what I'm saying? But when you look at me as a grown man now, I look back, I'm like, man, that was so horrible. Just like the Bam Booth Batman.
I like the Electric Company Spider-Man where I had to read the words. What?
That was different. That was a kid show. It was made to be corny. It was made to be corny.
I mean,
you had a young old Morgan Freeman.
And they had Morgan Freeman. Everybody knows Morgan Freeman's the best.
The best.
The best. Everybody loves Morgan Freeman.
Everybody.
So we're gonna get off of that because you're gonna get my blood pressure up. I'm gonna take a blood pressure pill. I'm old, and you're gonna talking about these old movies being great, and they're not.
I'm gonna break out with that 4-year-old soul.
Just stop. I don't think you about to lose your spectacular card too.
No, I am a true fan. Y'all just make believe.
All right,
y'all fly by nighters.
No, it just we picked up a phrase called "Once you know better, you do better." That's what we picked up.
Whatever.
All right, let's move on to the next thing. Ant-Man and Wasp poor reviews, man. Oh my God, Rotten Tomatoes has been doing the Ant-Man and Wasp very badly. I think it's gotten better now. I think hold on, I gotta type because
there are so many movies that I've liked that had terrible reviews. I don't really pay attention to reviews anymore. Unless it's the Fantastic Four. I mean that don't tend to be true. But anything else I do not pay attention to.
Well, see, right now, okay. When you look at the tomato meter or tomatometer, however you want to say it.
Tomatometer? Oh yeah,
tomatometer. that tomato meter or tomatometer is 47%. Now the audience score is 83%. Which is decent.
I mean, the audience score should count above the tomato score because we the ones buy the tickets.
Right, but this is what they're saying. The critic census, and these are, and the critic is just a person who went to school to give their opinion intelligently. That's all it is. So it says Ant-Man and Wasp: Quantumania emotionally lacks the spark of fun that elevated earlier adventures, but Jonathan Majors Kang is thrilling villain poised to alter the course of the MCU. So they have a reverse logic with you than the Fantastic Four. Here, Ant-Man is bad, the hero is bad, and the villain is done well. So, but the audience, he said the plot's a bit of a mess, but overall, Ant-Man and Wasp: Quantumania starts Phase 5 of the MCU with a colorful, creative thrill ride that will leave you wanting to see much more of Jonathan Majors as Kang. Which is kind of saying the same thing the first one.
And so here's the thing with that. If you think about it, all Marvel movie plots are kind of a mess because they're interconnected. They've done more and more interconnection with these plots as the movies have gone on.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can say, oh, the plot's a mess, blah, blah, blah. You can say that. But when I hear that, what I get from that reviewer is, you're not a fan. And these movies are meant to be fun.
Well,
you can sit there and go in and tear them apart all you want to. They're meant to be fun. And if you're trying to go to this and look for a defined plot device, well, that's not going to work all the time, especially with this, because the plot device with Kane started with Loki. So if you haven't looked at Loki, then you have.
And there are some people, and there are actually some people who are doing that. They're not watching it in sequence.
Yeah, you've missed a whole bunch of stuff that and you will enjoy it a lot more if you've seen that. And with Marvel, they started it in little snippets. It started with the reveal of Samuel L. Jackson and Iron Man, but now the movies have interlocked in such a way that they can stand alone. But they all this stuff is incorporated together, and it's cool. It's cool. It's more entertaining, in my opinion, for it to be that way. But when I hear those reviews like that, that's one reason I don't pay attention to it, because obviously they're not taking in the big picture.
Right.
They're going to see the little bit of this movie, but they're not taking the parts before it or the parts after it. And you miss something when you don't do that.
I think that is we've been conditioned through the first phase of the Marvel universe, with Thanos and all of that. Like I said, how do you beat the Endgame movies? And I think because we want to compare it to the last big thing that we've seen, and not even realizing that even the first phase had some movies that wasn't as spectacular, but they left a little bit in the movie that connected the other movies. A little snippet here, a villain reveal here, or whatever. We're still even in this phase here, thinking that every movie is supposed to be a blockbuster, gut-wrenching, action-packed, but they're giving us a little bit with the TV shows and the movies to build. You got to build Kang up, because Kang is complex. He's probably more complex than any other character, because it's so many of them, and each one of them probably have a ulterior motive, so you have to tell this story, and people got to know, or would have had to have known, that Ant-Man was not going to defeat Kang. Even though there was a semi-defeat, but Kang is not dead. I mean, he's not done.
Yeah.
There's more Kang to come, because
he's a Nexus being, so he can't.
Right. So I think a lot of it might have to do with maybe comic fan or non-comic fans watching these movies and not understanding that there is a plot line to this.
Well, that's something I'm gonna get into, but I need to make a point first, and I think I've actually expressed this in the previous episode. I like with them getting into the multiverse and all these Kangs. Remember, in the previous episode, I mentioned, I said, do I think this is going to be over the non-comic book fans' head?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
right.
I'm gonna point out something here. I'm gonna give you like the top five rated Marvel movies. Number one was Black Panther. It got a 96%. That was the number one rated movie. The next one is Avengers Endgame. It's 94%. Okay. The number 3 was Iron Man. That's a 94%. Number 4 was Thor Ragnarok, 93%. Number 5, Spider-Man No Way Home. And then number 6 was Spider-Man Homecoming. Spider-Man No Way Home got 93 and Homecoming got a 92. Okay.
And you know why Black Panther was number 1 is because, you know, us Black people went out to support that movie because
some of us saw it about 3, 4, and 5 times.
Right. And hey, look, funny story. My wife went with me and my daughter thinking that it was a Black Panther, the Black Panther.
the Black Panther party.
And once she found out that it was a superhero movie, she went to sleep. We had to nudge her because she was snoring.
But here's the funny thing. Hey, my wife likes Black Panther. Now, my wife is not sci-fi by any means. My youngest daughter, who calls my oldest daughter in the nerves, she does not like superhero stuff, but she loves Black Panther. So Black Panther just resonates different. It
resonated different.
So,
but it resonates different. And if you ask me, the fact that you had a movie now, the new with brown skinned folk too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
you know, we were talking, you know, everybody says Endgame is the best Marvel movie, but it didn't have the highest rating because we supported that movie.
Right. In droves.
In droves.
But here's in comparison. Now here's the bottom 6. I'm gonna start with the worst rated and going up. Now this is the bottom 6. That was the top 6. So the bottom is number 31, and it has a 47. The Eternals.
I can see that. Yeah.
All right. The next one with another 47 is Ant-Man, Wasp, Quantumania. The next one with a 63 which is really not that bad. But those bottom 2 are the critic ratings. Now the 63 is the fan rating. It's Thor: Love and Thunder. That's number 29.
Yeah.
So then Thor: The Dark World is number 28, and it's got a 66. So that's 4. Then the next one is number 67, is The Incredible Hulk. And that's the only Hulk movie.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They haven't made a sequel to that one. Then the next one, which is the and this is the complete.
No, wasn't that? Yeah, that was the only Hulk movie. The only Hulk right. Movie. He was guest appearances and everything else. Right.
So yeah, because we didn't see the Hulk next time till I think Avengers. Now the next one, which is this is like number 26, is Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness, and that was a 74 rating. Now, if we can, like I said, this is me speculating and me putting together something. The top 6 movies were more grounded, more grounded to earth. And they were easier to follow,
right? Because
you have Black Panther, Avengers Endgame, Iron Man, Thor Ragnarok, Spider-Man No Way Home, and Homecoming. You see what I'm saying? Now,
right.
All those pretty much happen on Earth. You know, yes, in Endgame they ventured off to other place, but it started on Earth and ended on Earth. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, with the bottom one, the Eternals, it was on Earth, but now you're introducing gods and celestials and all this other stuff.
Right.
So it's a little far out there for people. It's a little far out there. Then number that because that's 31. Now you have Quantumania, where they go into the quantum realm and they're fighting this one guy who's one of many people from these That's hard for people to follow. If you're not a comic book fan and you can't wrap your head around it, you're not going to get it. You see what I'm saying?
You ever seen Loki?
Yeah. And most non-comic book fans are going to see a one and done movie.
Exactly. And then you have Thor: Love and Thunder. That didn't even hit Earth that much. You see what I'm saying? They were talking about gods and they're everywhere on that one. Then the Dark World, they were on Earth, but they were off world mostly. You see what I'm saying? The Hulk was just the Hulk.
It's hard to do a Hulk standalone movie.
Right. And you said that, before the show. You said it's hard to do a Hulk standalone because a Hulk can't carry a movie by itself. He has to be with somebody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Whether it's wasn't Betty or somebody. You can't just have him by himself.
Right.
So Howard the Duck isn't on that list anyway.
It's not an MCU movie.
Well, hold on. Well, don't even acknowledge.
Howard the Duck.
Don't even acknowledge that what he just said.
I know.
I'm just saying.
He's trying to get me riled up. That's all.
We just moved past it.
To get you riled up, I have to say that the Fantastic Four movies were so bad. They're also not on that list.
How bad were they?
They're not on the list.
They're not on the list.
You know what? You better be glad Carlos ain't gave me the control button. I'd have to mute you.
And now the next one is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
All these bottom ones are more out there, and that's why because my first time actually seeing this list was today, and and I know I made that comment, couple episodes prior. Like, will the non-comic book fans really get it? Because, like I said, the people who are just following the movie, they have a different perspective than we who've been reading comic books for most of our lives. All these concepts of multi dimensions and multi universes and magic and many different gods, all that is not new to us. We just like, okay, that's
right.
This is just.
And I think sometimes too the writers shoot themselves in the foot by changing origin stories.
Well, that's true. But
sometimes the origin story that's there is the best. It's simple, it's straightforward, and now they go and change it, and it gets kind of complicated. And I always wonder who makes up some of these lists. I'm not really familiar with how Rotten Tomatoes gets some of their surveys, but I think the expectation a lot of times is that every Marvel movie is going to be $1 billion movie.
Well,
and that's not the case.
But the thing about it is, it's just like one of the reasons why I don't like watching the Grammys. Okay, and the reason why I don't like watching the Grammys is just I don't understand the voting system, because you'll have someone who's a country artist who's good at their craft, and I'm not saying I love country. I love all music, I really do. But you have a country artist with a jazz artist with the R&B artist and I'm like, how do you compare that? Like, if I'm one critic, if I don't have a hip hop ear or R&B ear, am I really going to grade that properly? You see? And I
get that. Yeah, I get that. To me,
if I'm a professional critic, and I really don't have a sci-fi mentality or a comic book mentality, how can I fairly grade that movie?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And I don't.
Yeah.
That's what I. So this is one of the reasons why I think reviews are overrated. Go see the movie yourself. Don't care. Don't give a damn about what review, or even if your best friend said the movie's horrible. If you look at the previews and say, well, hold up, there's some stuff in here I think I might like it.
Right.
Go see it. You might like it, because there's many times, what's that movie that Johnny
Air America.
Air America.
I thought that movie was great.
We went to go see that. I think you were with us when we went to go see that. Johnny,
I don't know. It was me, you, and Johnny. I don't know if Sonny was with us.
Well, I thought it was a fourth person, but anyway.
I know I saw Air America though. I like that movie.
But I know Johnny he saw that preview. He was like, "Hey man, let's go see that movie. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good." Then we went to see it. He's like, "Man, that was trash.
We can't let you pick the movie no more."
He said, "I thought it was gonna be good," but that's what I'm saying. Everybody sees something different. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you don't actually know until you go.
Right.
Think about the Oscars, man. How many of the movies? It used to be when I see the Oscars, the movies that win, I never heard those movies. Some of those movies.
It'd be some independent movie that
when they don't go see them, had no desire to go see them.
Right.
And it's just really been recently to me, more mainstream movies have been nominated, but you still won't see them on Best Picture. You'll see maybe Best Supporting Actress or Best Special Effects. And you know that they're probably not going to win.
Right.
Even though they're that caliber. And get into what Lo said, the voting for that, like for the Oscars, are done not by people, to me, real people to go see the movies. It's done by the folks who are in the Academy for Motion Picture Art. So I'm willing to bet that those folks aren't going to have the same taste that I have. I mean, great that you like an artsy movie that's in an artsy Italian movie that's in Japanese with subtitles.
Did you say an Italian movie that's in Japanese?
Art. Yeah.
Yeah. He hit the real complexity of everything.
So it's an Italian made movie with Japanese overdubs. Is that how is that done? Are the Italian people speaking Japanese?
Subtitles.
I'm being facetious, but
no, I can't skip over this because you said it. I got to fit it in my head now.
It's an Italian movie,
right? Are the Italian people speaking Japanese?
Italian people.
Okay, how is it Japanese and Italian? Let me go there. Let me ask you that. How is it Japanese and Italian?
Made in Japan. It's an Italian movie made in Japan. So
okay.
Hey, I tell you what. So let me break this home. I remember way back when I saw this old Godzilla movie that was supposed to take place in America. But they were speaking Japanese, and you had English subtitles.
Right.
But it was taking place in New York.
I mean, well, that's our childhood. We grew up seeing that.
Well, that's back with Captain America driving a van with a football helmet.
Yeah, that's they use you got to use your imagination. They pulled it off.
They did. But yeah, like I was saying on this right here, to get back to the point, like it just seems to me that the worst rated movies, and I do see as well, like let's say Endgame. Like say Endgame was the number two on that, I believe, was it?
Yeah, number two.
Okay, Endgame was number two. Now, Endgame from most people's perspective was just, if I was just like a non-comic book reader and I just saw that movie standalone, it's just like an alien coming from a different planet to attack Earth. You see what I'm saying? And we're very common with that. War of the Worlds, Independence Day. You can name a bunch of movies with that premise. So you can see how people can wrap their heads around that. A guy just wants to kill everybody or half the population, and it was pretty straightforward. Now these bottom six movies, you got. Let's start with the Eternals. You say so. You got these Celestials, which the Celestials were not even really explained. That, you know what I'm saying? You got them in this book, in this movie. They created these people. These people have powers. They are saving the Earth, and the people like what?
I think with the Celestial, with Eternals though, they really weren't. They're really not even a popular comic book. So a lot of people were wondering why would they even do it. But what happened is we were wondering the same thing with Guardians of the Galaxy. After you Thor and Captain America and Iron Man, and you coming out with Guardians of the Galaxy, everybody was like, why? but James Gunn did it so well that it made Guardians of the Galaxy a household, name. And I think they were thinking, I think the Eternals was put in there to push a story forward, not necessarily. I think Eternals could have been a better TV show than a movie.
And that's one point. Or James Gunn should have did the movie.
Because one thing I don't think they did a good job with, and they tried to explain it, but you had all this stuff going on with Thanos, but the Eternals, they were all had all this power. You just sat there.
But that's what I'm saying. It
explained
it in the movie, but it was a poor explanation.
It was a poor explanation.
But that's one thing I'm getting at. The thing about it is, not only did you introduce the Celestials, which is hard for a non-comic book person to wrap their head around that. Then you introduce the Eternals, who are made by the Celestials. Then the fact that the Celestials are born out of planets with intelligence, and then the Eternals were here to defeat the what are those monsters that was
deviants.
The deviants. It was a lot. It was just a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's a lot for a common person. I don't want to say common person to belittle anyone that's
a non-comic
book person.
Right.
It's just a lot. And then the next to last one was Ant-Man and the Wasp. You're in the quantum realm. You're dealing with multiple multiverses. You have this powerful person that if you didn't, again, like Sonny said, if you didn't watch the Loki series, you got this guy who's supposed to be super powerful. He beats the Hulk. He beats Thor. I'm assuming if you go into these universes, he beat the Eternals. He beat Thanos. If he beat everybody in that universe, if he's beat all these super powerful, but he couldn't beat an ant farm.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So it doesn't kind of hold up. It really doesn't really hold up. So, and then you introduce the multiverse and all this other jargon, comic book jargon, to a person who doesn't really read comic books. So like I said, and then let's go to Thor: Love and Thunder. You got someone, Gore, the God Butcher. Then you have all the different gods, and then it's a lot for a person to absorb. It's a whole lot.
Well, with this show,
and then even with all the Thor movies, I think what really made people upset with the Thor movies, although I enjoyed all of them, was the comic aspect. It was more comical than needed to be. But I understand the comedy, like we spoke before about. If you have this God sent to Earth to learn humility, and some of the things that he's gonna think and do will be comical.
Right. Exactly.
So, well, I think
or be funny to us.
Right.
I think all this shows the need that Marvel does with some movies to take time and do an origin. We didn't really get an origin with the Eternals. We got a kind of an explanation integrated into the movie, but you didn't really get an origin. We talk about how the first Marvel movies of a lot of the characters are a little slow because they're trying to get the origin down.
Right.
But that helps people, I think, understand it more. And they do that because they know that most of the folks that are going to watch this are not going to be comic book fans.
And I think because we're going to talk about this here in a moment about Marvel slowing down a little bit, and I think I think this Eternal movies came too quick out of the gate. Like I agree with Sonny. It came a little too quick out of the gate, and it should have been. They could have been introduced in the TV show. It could have been introduced in a couple of more Marvel movies and touched on. Then bring that movie in so people can get a better. They can wrap their head around it a little better. But but here we are. It's what it could have should at this point.
I think that's the same thing we said with the Inhumans. I think they introduced that a little too quickly.
Right.
And I think that's why that did not succeed, because that was supposed to be a pretty major part of the MCU had it went off the way it was supposed to. But I think
the Inhumans
was too quick.
The Inhumans was just poor writing.
Right.
The characters are great. The writing was horrible.
Mm-hmm. Well, like I said, you know, that's our thoughts on it. Y'all let us know your comments. Me personally, I actually did not have a Rotten Tomato account until, you know, I think it was the day before yesterday. I really don't get into movie reviews like that. I started this so I can get a notification because I wanted to keep up on different movie news and you know, and because we're doing this, I guess I have to kind of watch the ratings then to see what movies stand. So
and we need to ask what in the comments, what makes you go see the movies? And for me, I enjoy when I go to the movies with Carlos is getting there early and seeing the previews.
Yeah.
Because me and Carlos could look at each other and like, man, we got to see that.
Yeah.
That's going to be good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes,
right.
sometimes that's all it takes.
Yeah, I'm mad when I miss
the previews have always been the dessert before the meal when it comes to the movies and everything for us.
Right.
It's always been that thing you're paying, part of the thing you're paying your money for when you go into the movie. So I totally agree with that. So yeah, let us know what draws you in, because I'm to a point now I can pick out a bad movie from a trailer. I can look at a trailer. I said that's not going to be.
Yeah. I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
And while y'all are in the comments, why don't y'all also tell Alvin just how bad the Fantastic is? While y'all, drop Alvin a line. Let him know, you know, how incredibly bad Fantastic Four movies.
You know what? There was a reason why there was.
On YouTube also look at that one Fantastic Four movie that's out there that you can see on YouTube that he apparently loves, and let him know what you think about that.
I didn't say I loved that movie. I said I enjoyed what they did with things. So you know, let us know in the comments how you can take sci-fi advice from a guy who ain't watched the movies. That's why you was sitting there blank when Carlos was saying something about Ant-Man, because you know you hadn't watched it. Well, I can't put my 2 cents in that because I ain't even seen it.
Hey, Sonny, listen, I really wasn't gonna say anything. I really wasn't gonna say anything about it.
He brings this stuff on himself, though.
He's hurt and he's lashing out. That's okay. I let him have his moment. He's just lashing out. Okay. That's fine. Let him do that. That's what friends are for.
Yeah, just gotta let him vent.
I'm gonna let him rant and rave.
Just
you
like
gonna tell me about something bad and you ain't even watched it. Yeah.
Like I said, I really wasn't gonna say anything. I'm just letting him talk.
And don't forget, a couple episodes ago, he promised us he was going to watch the Ant-Man. You know, if you can't be anything, be honest.
Alvin's hurt about that. He's a little hurt about it.
He is hurt. You know, I sense the animosity. I feel that. I feel that he's a little hurt.
You're supposed to keep your word, man. You're supposed to keep your word.
I feel that he's a little hurt about it.
We're all dependent on you. All right, but yeah, like I said, everybody leave your comments and everything about the stuff that they added as well. I'm not in that no more. I'm done with it. So y'all do that. So the next topic is, and like we hit on a minute ago, was talking about Marvel slowing down a little bit. You know, spreading out. You know, the release dates of movies, because pushing them back a little bit. Because for budgetary reasons, they're doing a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and I understand why they're doing it. They with Endgame hit, that was the peak, of it, and they want to capitalize on that heat. But I think one of the things that they have to understand that we're not going anywhere. We're going to be here. And as long as don't get me wrong, I want a new Marvel movie every week. You can't oversaturate me. You can't. I'm a crackhead with the Marvel movies. So I'm Pookie. You can't give me too much Marvel movies or any sci-fi. I love it. If I find a sci-fi series, movie, or whatever I like, I want more of it. When I find a series on Netflix or Amazon or wherever, I binge watch it. I watch the whole thing because that's my passion. I really enjoy it. So for me, I can't get enough of it, but I understand why they have to slow down. When you're doing these live action movies, you got to pay these people their time and for their talent and all this other stuff. You got to pay you got to pay for the sets. You got to pay for the special effects. You got to pay for all that stuff. You got to pay for the writers. You got to pay the stunt people. All that costs money. So if we want this to be great, we have to give them time to do it. We have to give them time to write better scripts. You know what I'm saying? And to time this stuff out properly. So another Eternals, and I think that's probably another reason why they're probably slowing down, because they really expected Eternals and a few of those movies that were at the bottom to do really well,
better than they did.
Next blockbuster.
Yeah, and I'm not saying they didn't do well financially. They did well financially. We just talking about as far as the critics and the reviews. They want them.
Sonny was saying, one thing about is not setting up origin, but you have a TV aspect of this thing to where you could tell a lot of the origin stories in the TV shows. Mm-hmm. So let's start. I wish they would start releasing some of these TV shows, that they have in store,
right?
And push these origin stories out, so you don't have to waste that time in the movies.
Right.
You have a perfect setup. I think they're doing well. I think Ironheart will be coming out, which we got a taste of her in the Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Mm-hmm. So they're gonna piggyback the TV show off the movie, but you could do a lot of the origin stuff in the TV shows and translate over to the movies.
Right, but I think we got we had a good taste of who she is and what she's about from the Wakanda Forever and everything. So now when the TV show hits, it'll be they can kind of hit the ground running. They don't have to do too much backtracking as far as origin. Right. They can kind of go a little bit further because they kind of start with her building the suit or having it built. They can go a little bit further back. You know what I'm saying? They can go into her childhood.
She's gonna have to rebuild a whole nother suit because they didn't give her the Ironheart suit. But and then you have Miss Marvel, who they've shown the origin story in her TV show that's about to be in the Marvels. Right. Same way with Photon was in WandaVision.
And I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be a good one.
I believe that's going to be, and the Agatha Harkness.
The Marvels is going to fit very well into the MCU. So
yeah.
For y'all.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to the Agatha Harkness.
That one's going to be good too. Yeah,
that's going to be good.
Because I'm kind of curious on how they're going to do that, because she was left brainwashed, not herself.
Right.
At the end of the WandaVision. So I'm very curious on how they're going to continue that and pick that up. But yeah, so Sonny, how do you feel about them slowing down right
now? I'm cool with it. I can see the need to do it. budgetary wise, and and everything they're doing. I think that's the only reason they're slowing down. Really, I don't think it's because
of course,
XYZ movies not making enough money. I think the new CEO of Disney is coming in and trying to cut.
It can be both. It can be both.
But I think that
I got a thought on this after you make your.
But I think it's going to help the writing though. I think that them slowing down is going to absolutely help the quality of the movies that come out.
It can help.
I think if they slowed down, and we talked about this, if they slowed down a bit on the Eternal and got a quality story, I think it would have been a little better. And I still say some of the best movies that we see have been, and it's not just in the Marvel, but in any sci-fi, are the ones that are written by people who are fans.
Right.
And the reason, we're not talking about Star Trek, but the reason the Star Trek movies are doing so, Star Trek shows are doing so well is because they are directed and written by people who are fans.
People who love the series.
Either who have seen, who are fans of the original series, or folks who are fans of the Next Generation. They are fans, and they know about the shows. And I think a lot of the reason I've been harping on Fantastic Four, but I know at least one of those movies was written by folks who had never read the comics, or if they read the comics, the first time they read it were for research and context. And you could tell that in the writing. You could tell it. It wasn't hard to notice these folks are unfamiliar with the product.
Right.
And even if you're not a comic book fan, the story is well told in these books. And I think any fan can look at the movies and they can tell, okay, this element came from this element came from that. It may not be continuity with the comics totally, but they're taking elements from the comics. I wanted to slap the writer of Iron Man 3 because I left that movie pissed, is what I did. Right. I left that movie pissed. And I'm an Iron Man fan, but they did the villain. So when that reveal came, I was mad.
Well, it's funny, on the list, Iron Man 2 is number 25 and Iron Man 3 is number 22. Iron Man 3 ranked higher. The number
when the Iron Man 3 was the one where he didn't have a full workable armor. Yeah.
That's the Iron Man 3 when the Mandarin attacked him, and they lost power, and he landed in North Georgia. He was going to Chattanooga.
Yeah, it was horrible.
I don't like it because they misrepresented Chattanooga. First of all.
Yeah, I know, right?
They made Chattanooga look bad.
We Gig City, baby.
That's our home city. So they had Miss Chickamauga. They had the Miss Chattanooga pageant. They had Miss Chickamauga in the Chattanooga pageant. I'm like, Chickamauga is in Georgia. How you gonna have?
Yeah, first of all, Chickamauga is not in Chattanooga.
I'm like, they just did that wrong. They just made it look like a little small hick town.
A hick town, right?
And I'm like, come on, man.
Chattanooga is not a little hick town.
It's not how we do. So,
you know what? Back to this thing about them slowing down. What if they're slowing down because James Gunn is about to do something big with DC, and they're gonna have to be like, look, we can't put out no more mediocre. Because it's about to hit.
That could be.
James Gunn is about to turn DC all the way around.
Listen,
even the fact that James Gunn is gone, I mean, that's a big creative piece of what they were doing.
Right.
So, that's a good point, Ivan. I mean,
listen, there's nothing like some good old competition to spark a fire.
There you go.
Spark a fire under you and to make and to up your quality. The thing about it is that the Marvel movies were the only game in town.
Mm-hmm.
And they have set the bar. We can't say they have not set the bar.
And as I've said before, and we'll continue to say, DC had the elements already in place.
Right. So they did set the bar. So this right here is time for them to say, okay, hold up, let's pump the brakes a little bit. Let's see what this Flash is going to be about. Let's see how how they gonna put this out and how they gonna make it work, how they gonna make these series work, then we gonna step it up a notch, because it's not really uncommon for Marvel to copy DC, because they've been doing it. They've copied each other because some of the writers have went back and forth between companies.
Yeah.
Some of the artists have gone back and forth. So a lot of the ideas have exchanged over the years and decades. So them copying each other and them, because they were talking about, and this is something I want to explore in our next episode of the some of the heroes in one comic franchise that were inspired by the other comics franchise. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a lot of those.
It's a lot of them. So these movies coming up, like you said, with James Gunn, who's a big creative heavy hitter, who's left and gone over there. He's manning the helm. Him and the other guy. It's bad that I don't know the other guy's name, but they're being co-CEOs, manning the helm, and they have creative control to do whatever they like, and that's going to be the trailer alone in the Flash, it just makes it's enough to make you just want to buy your ticket now and just wait outside. So
right.
So I know that's kind of putting a little fear into Marvel, and like I said, it's not the fear is not really them taking business away, because we've already established if
we're gonna go see both.
If the Superman movie came out on the same day as Captain America, we're gonna see both.
Right.
It's not a competition on that level. It's a competition.
We're gonna go by the comics.
It's a competition. Yeah, after we go see the movie, we're gonna go by the comics on both of them. But it's not a competition on that level of taking business. It's a competition on the level of who's gonna be the best in town. That's the competition.
You want quality. You want quality. And you want a quality product.
So
yeah.
So but yeah, so y'all, everyone leave your comments about that as to what do y'all think about the them slowing down and pumping the brakes a little bit, and do you think it's going to help them with the quality of the movies? Do you think it's going to help them with the storylines and things of that nature? So y'all leave the comments on that. This one's a kind of surprise. I didn't tell y'all about this one, but Marvel is going to launch the 20th Century imprint, because y'all know that Disney bought 20th Century, the movie
Fox.
company, 20th Century Fox, right? So they own all those titles under 20th Century. So Marvel's gonna come out with the Planet of the Apes comic book.
Oh yeah. It's I think that's in a week or so.
Right. So now
they've already been doing variant covers with the Planet of the Apes in the main titles.
Right.
They've been doing some Planet of the Apes variants.
So you're gonna have Planet of the Apes, Alien, and Predator all under the same house as X-Men and Captain America and all that. So man, that's gonna open up a whole lot. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That they'll be able to do. I mean, it's kind of weird that they can do that, but they can't own Spider-Man.
Technically so here's the thing. Technically, at the root of it, they still own the characters.
Yeah.
What they sold was their right to do whatever they wanted to do with the characters. So it's still
they don't own them. You can't tell me I just bought a car, but you can tell me I can't drive the car. That means I don't own the car.
You sell your privilege to drive that car. If you don't have any money, you're about to go bankrupt. And that's the way
and that's why
that's what Marvel was in.
Right. Before that's for people who don't know, Marvel was in a bad, because the comic books hit a slump some years ago. That's how many decades ago? About 3 decades ago.
When people stopped reading paper.
Yeah. So they hit a slump. People stopped buying the comic books and everything. So they sold some of their titles, and they sold X-Men and they sold Spider-Man and everything.
Because dig this, you go to Florida Universal has a whole neighborhood, a whole Marvel neighborhood,
right?
At Universal Studios, which is the competition to Disney.
Right.
So now it's not as intense as Disney's is, of course, but I mean they're under contract. They can't. Right. They just can't make Universal stop using
exactly
their characters.
And when I say they sold them, they didn't sell the characters. They just sold the movie rights.
Yeah,
they sold the movie rights. So Sony owns Spider-Man, the movie rights, so they can make the movies and everything. And Fox used to own X-Men and all that. So now
they sold the distribution rights to some characters.
And then there was this resurgence of, I think, Blade, starting with Blade. Blade brought Marvel back and put them back on the map. And this is resurgence of movies and everything. So, so once Blade brought them back, then they started making the Hulk and Iron Man and all this other stuff. Kind of blew up from that. So they didn't really know that they were going to be this big and not have some of their main characters to make the movies with and everything. But if it wasn't for themselves, they could have went bankrupt and we wouldn't have had any of this.
They wouldn't have been here. They wouldn't have been here. Or they could, or they could have been sold to somebody, and somebody else would have did it. But we don't know. But the point I'm making is that that it's kind of, it's like it's a broken home. Mom is over here, dad's over here, and the kids are going between them. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a broken home. So, but I wish there was a way that we can repair that. But they are acquiring other titles. Like I said, the 20th Century Fox. Well, I think they're doing the best they can. I think that the purchase of Fox was a big deal.
Yeah,
because you brought something back in house, and Sony, depending on Sony's mood, sometimes they're realizing, hey, we're going to do better if we let Marvel use this or that.
Yeah. And
then sometimes they say, no, we're going to make Morbius.
Yeah. And I think they should do, like you said a while ago, they should let Marvel, just lease it back to Marvel and say, hey, listen, Marvel, y'all are making the money. We'll just sit back and just cash some checks.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I tell you something else you might want to look into is, a couple of years ago, maybe it was more than a couple of years ago, but I don't know if you all remember the independent company CrossGen. They came out with titles like Mystic and Broth and they had the first. They had 6, 7, 8 titles. Meridian.
Mm-hmm.
Marvel bought, that whole catalog, the characters and all. Now they've yet to do anything with them. I think they put out a I don't know what you call it, but it was like a reintroduction to some of the characters, but they've not made their appearance in any of the actual Marvel comics. So there has to be a reason why they purchased that catalog, or that whole company, the CrossGen company.
Right. Wow. Yeah, that's cool.
They've had other imprints like Epic and Max and all of that, but this is they actually bought this defunct comic group. So that's something we might need to be on the lookout for.
That's good. Cool. Well, I think that's about all that we have on that. The next thing, only thing I have is like any TV shows that we're watching right now. I think I told y'all earlier that I've been watching the Quantum Leap reboot that's on Peacock, and it's pretty good. I think it's I like it a lot. Of course, I watched the original series, and I it was kind of one dimensional on some fronts and everything. But this reboot is really good. I like it a lot more because they're going outside of they're going into the time jumping, and then they're also going. There's a lot of stuff going in the real world that's happening. So they're really balancing it out, and I really like that and everything. And then I watched the first episode of The Last of Us. I think they're on episode 8 now. But I'm a binge watcher, so I like to let stuff stack up. So I want to clear it out. Only thing I'm not a binge watcher of right now is The Mandalorian, because I love The Mandalorian. It's The Mandalorian. I can't wait, because I waited till the Obi-Wan series stacked up, then I watched all those. So I need to. So now I'm doing better by keeping on top of them. That way I can talk about them in real time.
I'm at this point, I'm not really watching anything per se, but I got a bunch of stuff that's in the queue.
Yeah. Well, we know what Sonny has to watch, but I'm not gonna say nothing. You already got on him on that, so I'm not gonna say nothing. Alvin is giving up on you.
I'm done with him. Hey, about 3 or 4 episodes on down the road, he'll come back. Man, I watched Ant-Man. Man, y'all was right. Blah 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 blah. I'm like,
hey, man, you know what? He's not gonna really watch it. He's gonna go to Amazon and get an Ant-Man Cliff Note.
Oh, y'all funny.
You know the Cliff Note. He's gonna get the Cliff Note.
Try to convince us he watched the movie.
Yeah, man. You know, I saw that. Did you remember that part where he shrunk? Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I saw that.
Wow, y'all funny. Wow, yeah. Haha.
So I'm gonna leave you alone, because Alvin, he's already roasted about 33 times already. I'm good. Everybody remember that. Okay, for the Wakanda Forever came out on Disney Plus on the 1st of this month. So it's also you for those who don't have Disney Plus, you can purchase, or I'm sorry, you can rent it on Amazon Prime as well. So Wakanda Forever, you can check it out.
Wakanda Forever.
So and I've been watching some of those DC comic, some of the DC cartoon movies lately. I've seen 2 of them, which is it's essentially the same story, which it kind of tickled me, because we keep talking about their inconsistency. But the movie's made by 2. It's an animated movie. Both of them animated movie, and they're made by 2 different people. I mean, they're directed by 2 different people and written by 12 different teams and everything. Both of them centered around Supergirl. Both of them, she just came to the planet. Both of them, Batman is saying that she's a danger and she has to go somewhere and get trained. And one of them, Wonder Woman literally comes and the other Amazon literally comes and takes her hostage and bring her back to their island so they can train her. Because she was, she wasn't in control of her powers. Her laser eyes were going off.
Laser eyes.
Her laser eyes were going off, and and so they took her there, and then that one, Darkseid came and took her and tried to make her one of his warriors or whatever under what's her name? The mother.
Big Bertha. No. Granny Goodness.
Granny Goodness, and trainer and everything. So that was that movie. The other movie was she came to Earth and Batman said she was Batman said she was a danger. And so Superman
the common underlying theme here.
Yeah. So instead of her being kidnapped this time by Wonder Woman, Superman had one of these temporal spheres that he threw up, and it took them to the 31st century, to the Legion of Superheroes.
Legion of Superheroes, right?
Right. So she went to the future to train and everything. So I like that one a little bit better, but both of them are good stories. But I don't understand. I like anything with Darkseid in it as well. So
yeah,
because they don't really show him as much. I don't know why. That's one of the better villains.
Villains, right? Right.
I don't understand why they didn't utilize that enough. But anyway, but yeah, it just amazes me that how they'll it's the same movie, just retelling different. You just changing the different plots.
It's DC.
I'm like, come on. And here's the thing.
They didn't have the editors to look at the cliff notes and be like, look, somebody gonna have to change.
Here's my thing. I understand that when Marvel started taking over the movie, the comic book movie space, DC should say, you know what we got going for us? We have our animated. What they're doing in live action, we can do it in animation.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And they could have tied all that stuff in and used the flashpoints and they could have been pumping those animations out and then doing animated series. Everything that Marvel's doing in live action, they could have done in animated form years ago.
Right.
Because they put out about 4, maybe 5. I think they've been putting out maybe 4 or 5, maybe 6 movies, animated movies a year.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
And they're good animated movies.
And they're good.
They're just
standalone.
They're racing. I mean, they're good animated movies, but
you know, they could have just kept making them and built them up.
Y'all know DC frustrates me. It's just
well, they about to get fixed now, so
yeah, they about to be put in line now. So they got somebody on the helm that knows what he's doing. But Sonny's not sold yet.
No, you got to show me.
He's just about as done with them as we is done with him. He's just about the same amount of done.
Poor Cinderella.
He said, "Man, you ain't gonna see it. We just all right, man. But yeah, everybody, leave us a comment. Let us know what shows that you're watching, what's good, what's out there. If there's some kind of streaming platform, I got pretty much all the streaming platforms. But if there's some kind of streaming platform that I don't have that I need to acquire, let me know. I'm trying to dip my foot into. I should say, well, I'm dipping my toe, not my whole foot, in anime by watching Naruto. Well, not Naruto. Naruto. And I'm getting it. I'm trying to get a hang of it. I'm trying to wrap my head around it. So I'm trying to get some anime under my belt. You know, I do like some anime movies like Spirited Away and things of that nature. And My Neighbor Totoro. I do like those animated movies. For those who haven't seen them, those are excellent anime movies.
I didn't know who My Neighbor Totoro was until
My Neighbor Totoro.
Yeah. We saw a cosplay of that at a con.
Yeah,
I went to, and
it's
no idea what that was.
It's very popular. Have y'all seen Spirited Away?
No.
Y'all, oh my god!
I do like Dragon Slayer, Demon Slayer.
Yeah,
Demon Slayer.
Also, I watched. Did I tell you about Vox Machina?
No,
it's on Amazon Prime. That's another. It's kind of anime. It's kind of anime, but they have.
Is that the anthology one? The one that has several episodes. They tell a little different story.
It's 2 series.
I've seen that.
It's 2 seasons.
It's 2 seasons.
Yeah. but
I've seen
I finished
that.
watching season 2, and that's very good. So so Vox Machina is another good anime. So for those,
and Star Wars has, and I think it's on Disney Plus. I'm sure it's still available. They actually have some animated Star Wars series that were, I want to say 5 or 6 standalone shows, but they were done by different anime artists.
Oh yeah,
and that was cool.
Another one is if I haven't mentioned it before, I think I told Alvin about it when he was here. They have the He-Man series. I think it was on Netflix, if I believe.
Yeah, Netflix.
But what they do, they go into their background. It's a little bit more of an adult telling of He-Man, but they go into the background of all the characters, because when we watched He-Man, it came on every day after we got out of school. It came on about 2 or 3 o'clock, and we just saw He-Man fight people. They didn't it didn't really go into backstories and origins and stuff like that. This right here, it goes into more depth of the character, why they are the way they are, and everything. So if really check that one out, that's a real good one. But like I said, let us know what y'all are watching. Any anime that like I said, I'm dipping my toe into Naruto to get my. So I'm kind of getting it. I've watched, I don't know, maybe about. I'm still on the first season, so I know some of y'all don't shake your head, because for those who know Naruto, there's a lot of episodes, so I got a long way to go. So, but I'm dipping my toe in it. But that's about it, fellas. That's all I got. Do y'all have anything?
No,
I think I'm good.
No,
I'm good.
Okay. Well, like I said, everybody, we appreciate y'all tuning in. We appreciate everything that y'all doing. This is just as much as your podcast as it is ours, and we really mean that. Please leave comments and let us know what in any topics that you want us to talk about, any movies and that you want to see. Let us know your opinions on it. And as you see at the beginning of this, I will read the comments. I'm looking forward to I've already got our first 2 comments by the same person. But I'm looking forward to the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th, 8th comment. So please leave your comments and everything, and we really appreciate y'all tuning in. And also remember, don't just like and subscribe and comment, but also tell other geeks and comic book nerds about us as well, and share this podcast with them, because we really want to build a following and make it more of a community. So, but like I said, we appreciate y'all tuning in, and we love y'all. So y'all be safe and be careful.
All right. Peace out.
See you.